Hello, everyone. I would like to crank open that Pandora's box even further from the video that I posted last week, where I'd asked, is it time to forgive MAGA? With a follow-up email, does MAGA deserve forgiveness? So this, I hope, will be healing, transformative, and helpful to you. So I am going to just pick up on some of the comments that were made under that video. Uh, there is obviously a lot of anger and rage, and I want to honor that and acknowledge that. And I also am working to gently open up space for creating something good from that anger and that rage. So, Artistic Mystic Soul posted, forgiveness requires repentance. Most still support him. Well, certainly in the teachings that I've studied, and one really easy to access resource is Women Who Run with the Wolves. Forgiveness actually does not require anything from the other person. It's an inside job, and it is not about saying that what somebody did was okay, but it's about going through a process that does not happen intellectually. It does not happen overnight. It's a process of letting go of our own rage, because basically our lack of forgiveness, our holding the grudge, our anger, it actually only hurts us. It doesn't hurt the other person. And so that's why it is so important to find ways of engaging on authentic process of healing and forgiveness for you. That's where it's really needed. And also just to acknowledge that another person replied to that video with a simple word, never. So I know that there is a wave of people feeling like I will never be able to forgive the people that voted for Trump. And I also know that there are a lot of videos out there. I've watched some videos of people saying how they will never forgive. And um, I would just like to gently propose that at some point, for us to be able to move forward, it is going to be important for each of us to go through a process of forgiveness. It's not something that can be rushed. However, it is something that will be necessary in order to create a golden society. Another comment from Colleen, and I'm just going to pick up on the second part of your comment, Colleen. Forgiveness is a personal healing. Like my sister taught me, quote, you keep the original and send the copy to the person in question, end quote. This truth is for both healthy and harming emotions. So forgiving is most importantly a gift to oneself. That's Colleen echoing. Well, I guess basically I echoed what Colleen said, that forgiveness is a personal healing. And Christiane, taking some selections from your post. Yes, I have heard people who are voicing regret for having voted for Trump because they have been devastatingly hurt by his policies. I have been so tempted to enjoy their pain and the people who are mocking them. I have so much anger, fury, really. But you are absolutely right. That will not create the world I want to live in. I really liked your practical example of saying, I am really grateful that you are open to this possibility that voting for Trump was not a good thing. And I would like to explore with you what we can do together to turn this situation around. And then returning to Christiane, she says, wow, that puts a whole new light on it, a whole new attitude for me to use. And first of all, I just appreciate the strength, the amazing strength of Christiane, to acknowledge about her anger and her fury and her willingness to hear what I had to say and to consider a different outlook, a different way of responding to this. And, you know, for me, and I'm not trying to put words in Christiane's voice, but for me, sort of the standard way of anger is just like pounding your fists as hard as you can, pounding your head as hard as you can against a wall. Like that is kind of, for me, sort of the typical kind of anger and rage that is seen in society. And what I'm proposing is you use your anger to look at what you really want and you do what it takes to get you where you really want. So that's really about hopping over the wall. I mean, really, that's destroying the wall. Because if we just respond with just a head banging anger, it just is basically reinforcing the original problem. But if we, calling on Saramanju, if we bring out our sword and cut through what is going on, if we kick out our sword with insight, clarity, cut through what is going on, then we open up this whole new world. And basically, that releases, what the problem was. And it creates this opportunity to create what you really want to, you know, out of joy, out of love. Because I think all of us, we want a fair, just, joyful, loving country and world to live in. So, what do we need to do in order to create that? And that's where I'm suggesting our point of focus needs to be. And it's not about dishonoring the anger. There may be, the kind of anger where you just need to take some time feeling the anger. But it's not ever helpful to just lash out at somebody. It's not ever helpful to just hit somebody. That is not helpful. But taking some time to be with your anger, write about your anger, express it in safe places. But at some point, you need to move forward from that and start creating the life that you want and use that anger to be able to pinpoint where are the areas that need to change so that we can be creating a more loving, a more just, a more amazing United States. So that's what I'm looking for. This is about empowerment. The theme this week is women of power, and that includes men and your divine feminine within you. So I do want to bring one more quote from underneath the video from the childless Gato lady. And I actually posted the video last week in response to her comment the week before. So she said, "Thank you. This is a subject that is very close to me as I live in a red area and have had folks making threatening gestures to me. What I will say is that I totally understand the people who are angry at MAGA and have no intention of forgiving or to reach out to those who are showing indications that they are rethinking their decision. Not all of us can or should connect with regretful MAGA, but if you can, then we need people who will provide them an on-ramp on their road to accountability and healing. If you are one of those MAGA rethinking your choice, then this channel has plenty of info to help you on your road. Best wishes in seeking forgiving and healing." Really so moved by the depth of compassion and wisdom and power that is really coming together in these community posts. And I really thank you, childless Gato lady. And yeah, I mean, you're also impacting me because you are so spacious and forgiving and creating space for people to be where they're at. You really are a way shower from me. So you are impacting me, you're changing me. So I really appreciate you and hope I get to meet you someday. And how about on that cheerful note, I will close this video. Look forward to further discussion on this topic.